Hallihallo ihr Lieben und willkommen zum dritten und letzten Part des Events Thelxies fantastische Abenteuer. Und ja, seid ihr stolz auf mich, dass ich mir das Wort fantastisch gemerkt habe? Thelxie hüpft schon vor Freude hin und her, Erinnyes wartet auf uns und ich würde sagen, wir starten direkt in das Geschehen ein, oder? Let's go. Hallo, Erinnyes. Ja, hallo. Wir sind da.
Hello, Paimon. Hello, Traveler.
Ja, guten Tag. Oh, Thelxie, du kleines Knuffelwuffel.
Is the crown ready?
Yes, we're just waiting for Zuria now. She hasn't arrived yet.
Then let's wait for her a little while. Or actually, maybe we can go find her. It's not too far from here anyway. Didn't she say she just lives on the hill over there?
Hey, Traveler, Paimon.
Hello.
Oh, and speaking of...
Found you two at long last. I'm so glad that you both are all right.
Huh? Why are you here, Miss Delaroche? And what could have happened to us?
What could have happened? That water imp Thelxie, of course. After I gave you that commission the other day, I began to get worried and went asking about the boy that went missing.
Oh, that? We've got it all figured out now. The boy you heard about was just Erinnyes. Even the missing fish was his fault. Don't worry, we'll help you get the fish back as soon as we're done with this job.
Oh, sorry about that. I've been diving in the area recently.
Du kleiner Frechdachs.
Erinnyes diving? No, that's not what happened at all. I've heard a completely different account. What I was told is that about a month ago, a child tied a bunch of heavy seashells onto his body and walked into this open stretch of water. He never came back. What could that be if not that water imp's work?
Ja, nee. Sagst es doch selbst. Schwere Muscheln. Der ist wahrscheinlich nicht wieder nach oben
Are
gekommen.
you sure?
100% sure. I've confirmed the account with several veteran fishermen I know. The child was only 8 years old. His name was Lescaut. Lescaut d'Estray.
Wait, let's go to Stray?
Yeah, that's the name. They say the family took on the name after moving to the city from a place called Stray. Anyway, his mother is a pretty famous art dealer, while his father passed away from an accident many years ago. Well, naturally, his mother was devastated by the incident and fell terribly ill. It's said that she left the court of Fontaine, and no one knows where she's gone.
It can't be, right? Lescaut d'Estray? Zuria d'Estray? It must be some sort of a coincidence?
Sieht ganz danach aus, als müssten wir Frau Zuria einen Besuch abstatten.
I'm sorry, miss. We've got to go check on something right now.
Oh, I see. Well, you go on ahead. I just came to make sure that you're both all right. I'll head back then. Please remember to take care.
Okay, machen wir. Wir werden ganz vorsichtig sein. Die Krone der Wunder. Okay, let's go. Wir müssen da hochkraspeln, Leute. Da hoch. Dann könnt ihr euch ja ein bisschen die Gegend anschauen. Oh, seht euch mal die ganzen Truhen an. Hallo. Wupp. Dupp. Aber ich werde sie noch nicht öffnen. Sagte sie jetzt und macht es heimlich später. Ja, ich habe hier schon heimlich ein paar Kisten geöffnet, aber pst, verratet es keinem, okay? Oh Gott, so viele Kisten. So viele Sternchen. Oh. Ah, verdammt. Ich habe leider da oben den Teleportationspunkt noch nicht. Aber den holen wir uns jetzt ganz schnell, oder? Oder? Das verkraftet ihr. Es ist ja fast in der Nähe, ne? Aber auch nur fast. Wo denn? Ach, da. Ich liebe diese Gegend. Guckt es euch an. Wow. Wow. Ich kann Fontaine so dermaßen ab. Und die Musik ist auch so toll.
Excuse us. Is anyone here? Is this Madame Destray's place?
Who are you? I have a patient here who needs quiet bed rest. Please leave us be unless you have anything urgent to report.
Wer ist der Patient? Nach einer kurzen Stille öffnet sich die Tür und ein argwöhnisch blickender Mann schaut heraus. Ich habe keine Ahnung.
Her family doctor. What did you mean by your question just now? Who else could be my patient?
Your patient should be Zuria's son, right? She told us herself that her son had contracted loneliness syndrome.
No, you're right. Young Master Lescaut did have that illness once upon a time, but he's... Well, the young master's no longer with us. And now the Madame has come down with the same illness. Are you her friends by any chance?
Ja. Zwischen einigen Schweigepausen erzählt du dem Arzt alles, was in den letzten Tagen passiert ist. Warum ist das immer so schnell? Ich weiß, ich sag's immer wieder.
Over the past few days, it was so she could spend them with you.
So, if I'm understanding this right, the one who's suffering from uncontrollable delusions is the Madame herself? She believes her son is still alive?
That is correct. When the young master disappeared, she was organizing an art exhibit that she had specifically prepared for him. But since she had to leave the house, she was unable to see her son one last time. That might have been the trigger for her regret. Or perhaps the family's fall into loneliness and grief was inevitable as soon as the old master passed away. First the son, and then the mother.
But how could that be? She really looked like she had a handle on everything. Her smile was so lovely, and she even told us to stay optimistic. But you're saying she...
Those actions are proof that she can no longer differentiate between fantasy and reality.
Then all the other things that she told us about her son, were those fake too?
No, those were all real. Although they were all things that happened before the young master left us for good. Madame's time has just never moved forward since his passing.
I see. So after her son left, she created a fantasy world where her son was still with her. She was looking for a way to cure his illness when she ran into us.
Und wie geht es Frau Surya jetzt?
She has been in a good mood the past few days, even humming a song when she returned from her stroll. She even began discussing with me the idea of using deliberate guidance to ease the illness. It was all going well, until last night. She spent a whole night staring at the shell the young master left behind, and the words that he had inscribed onto it. Then she broke down once more. I prescribed some sedatives, and she's currently resting.
But then what should we do? How can we help her? There has to be something we can do.
Don't panic, Paimon. Even though this is a devastating piece of news, we must all calm down first.
Sagt
What
es.
should we do? I need to think. I need to remember the old house of the hearth, and the children who lived in it. Those patients, and what their doctors said back then. What if... Dr. Jalacan, have you seen a picture?
Jalacan.
The Madame should have brought it back with her.
Are you thinking about trying the guidance therapy she talked to me about before? It's worth a shot. I'll go get the book.
Okay, klau ihr das Buch. Der Doktor überreicht Fremini kurz darauf das Bilderbuch.
Yes, this is it.
Sollen wir weiter ein Abenteuer bestehen und das Bilderbuch fertigstellen?
That's right. If what Dr. Jalacan said was true, the past few days have been very helpful to Zuria, so we should complete this journey. We need to show her that her child has found a happy ending in the world of her dreams.
But wouldn't that just make it harder for her to accept reality?
One must first face reality before accepting it. The Madame has been crushed by her feelings of grief and can no longer bring herself to face reality. Our first priority would be to get her out of this state.
Right. Before today, I had thought she wanted to use Thelxies' fantastic adventures to save her son. But now, I think she might need it to save herself. And if we could complete it, we should be able to give her some feeling of inspiration and closure. Maybe those feelings would be enough to give her some courage to face reality again.
Wir können es nur versuchen.
There's
Ja,
no
was
time to
anderes bleibt uns
waste.
nicht
Let's
übrig.
set off right away.
Okay, let's go! Geht zum Reich der Wasserunholde. Oh. Oh, boy. Kann ich hin teleportieren? Oh, Gott sei Dank. Das wäre jetzt echt dramatisch gewesen. Okay, erneute Wagnisse im Reich der Wasserunholde. Ist das dasselbe, was steht? Das Böse... Ist das dasselbe, was steht? Was ist das denn wieder für ein Deutsch, Leute? Meine Güte. Ihr müsst auch immer einiges ertragen, ne? Das Böse schläft nie und holt sich heimlich die Krone von Prinz Thelxies. Oh, tapfere Recken, besiegt zusammen mit dem Prinzen die fürchterlichen Eindringlinge und holt die Krone zurück. Das werden wir... ja, was habe ich nochmal für Charaktere? So, okay. Welche Charaktere habe ich? Oh, Mann. Ist das wieder ein Chaos heute.
We're here again. This is the final part of Thelxies' journey, but the most important person is missing.
Everyone, please don't be so down and gloomy. Remember what she told us? If we were to feel troubled, the patient would become anxious as well.
You're right. Paimon needs to smile. If we have to give something to Zuria, it should be our smiles. We have to keep smiling as we finish this adventure. And then she'll be able to recover, right, everyone?
Ganz bestimmt, Paimon.
Yeah, I'm sure she will.
Let's go. Oh, Leute.
Be careful, brave
Oh,
adventurers.
ihr haut aber auch gleich direkt alles raus, wa?
That stole the crown. There. Let me see, Cyclops.
Paimon, ich kann dir nicht zuhören. Ich bin hier gerade schwer beschäftigt. Los, mein kleiner Tainari. Best Boy ever.
There's no need to
Mit
fear. Prince
Kasor zusammen, den ich leider nicht habe.
today. He must be going all out.
Wuhu.
Feel myself.
Can't see?
Wow. Los, Thelxies. Los, Fremine.
Frost is coming!
Ja, Frost is coming, ne? Das auch wirklich.
Oh, this
Es
is
hat
the first
so
time
viel
that-
geschneit letztens.
We'll reclaim the crown for you now, Your Highness.
Was gar nicht gut ist, denn ich fahre so ein Mini-Auto. Das Teil hält ja überhaupt nichts aus. Irgendwann liege ich im Graben. Juhu.
One with the forest.
Los, Tainari! Uhu.
Let's nip that in the bud. Pear! Frost is coming!
Solidify!
Ja, na los.
Can't see?
Und nun? Okay, das war's. Na toll. Nochmal alles rausgeholt zum Schluss.
I'm sorry. I have to go. I made a promise to my friends, and I'm already very late.
But, Madame, you're still...
Lass sie gehen.
Don't try to stop me. Today's the most important day for treating Thelxies. We'll use the guidance method. Didn't you also say that you think it'd work?
I'm not trying to stop you, Madame. It's just... Could you tell me the name of your child?
Dr. Jalacan, how can you forget the name of your own patient?
His name is Thelxies. He's the prince of the kingdom of water imps. We will go today to reclaim his crown and attend his coronation ceremony.
I see. Madame, please rest assured, everything is still on schedule. Your friends have
Ja,
already
hallo, wer will denn
departed to
da
find...
reinkommen? Hallo, hallo.
Wait, look.
Bin
They've
gerade aber
already
mittendrin,
returned.
sorry. Bald geht's los. Bald geht es los, wenn es einer von euch war.
Paimon, everyone, have you really?
Yes, but the coronation ceremony still hasn't taken place, because we felt like you should be the one to preside over it.
Wonderful, how wonderful! Thelxies, my child, are you hearing this? Everything you lost will now come back to you, and soon, very soon, you will never be lonely again.
And the last page of the picture book. It's still waiting for you to illustrate in color.
Right, the picture book. But I don't know what I should put on the last page.
Wir schaffen das
Thelxies
schon.
and his friends all know what should go on it. Get ready, Zuria. We'll describe everything for you.
Okay.
At last, Thelxies and his friends were able to drive off the final invading monsters and achieve a dashing victory. Their success was complete, and the recovered crown resplendent.
The water imps, finally returning to their homes, showered the prince with love and applause as he greeted them. They once again offered their precious shells to the prince and reconstructed the rainbow bridge of old. As he watched the scene unfold, the prince could not help but be touched by its beauty.
Moved by everyone's happiness, the prince stepped onto the rainbow bridge and took a good look at all the friends who had gone on the journey with him. There stood the traveler, goddess Paimon, Erinnyes, and... Where's the last person? The prince looked frantically around, but could not find the person he wanted to see most. At that moment, the person suddenly appeared on the other side of the bridge. She walked towards him with a smile and slowly lifted her veil.
The prince could not hold back his tears. He recognized then that the mysterious person that had been by his side the whole time was none other than his mother. Zuria walked across the bridge and placed the crown above the prince's head. She smiled down upon him as she said, "My prince, my king, you shall never, ever need to feel lonely again."
That's the end of the story, Zuria.
Thank you. Thank you all. I am so sorry, my child. Maman should have spent more time with you.
Aww.
Did you hear the story? You'll never have to feel lonely again.
Das ist so traurig.
Maman loves you too.
What's happening? Is Zuria talking to Thelxies?
Was sagt Thelxies?
Quick, put on my diving helmet. There's a transcription module in it that's compatible with Thelxies' output
Wir kriegen jetzt seinen Helm. Haha, am Ende haben wir den doch noch bekommen. Erinnyes kommt herbei, holt seinen Taucherhelm hervor und setzt ihn auf deinen Kopf. Jetzt habe ich mich extra beim Lesen beeilt, aber diesmal kann ich klicken. Mama, ich hab dich lieb. Oh mein Gott, das ist so traurig. Das sagt Thelxies also.
Mama loves you too.
But I love you more,
Oh. Warte, was ist das?
What? Did you see something?
Maman,
I'm getting a little sleepy. If it's time for bed, can you hum a lullaby to me again?
Of course, my dearest child. As long as you want to hear it, Mama will always hum for you.
Thank you, Paimon. Your lullaby has always been my favorite. Now that I've heard it, I can return to my dream and to the kingdom of water imps in peace.
My poor darling. Please don't forget. I will always love you. My love is greater than the entire distance between here and the kingdom of water imps.
I won't forget, Paimon. And so is my love for you.
Oh, haut noch mehr raus. Oh Gott, ich heule hier.
Between here
Oh.
and the kingdom of water imps. Night, Paimon.
Ich brauche ein Taschentuch. 3 Tage später in Erinnyes Lager. Wartet mal kurz. Okay, wir schaffen das, Leute. Mann, müssen die so auf die Tränendrüse drücken? Mann, Mann, Mann.
Traveler, Paimon, you're here.
Erinnyes, why did you call us in such a hurry? Did you hear something from Zuria? Oh, if it's not good news, Paimon doesn't want to hear it.
Don't worry, it's definitely great news. The Madame came here for a visit just now with her doctor. Color has returned to her cheeks, and she sounded full of energy as well. She said she'd like to return to the court to continue hosting the art exhibit. But this time, she'll work with her doctor to exhibit some picture books related to the illness. Of course, Thelxies' fantastic adventures and the guidance therapy will be included in the exhibit as well. She'd like to use her experience to help others.
That's wonderful! So it wasn't bad news after all.
Mm-hmm. Here, please take this picture book with you. The Madame wanted you to have it. If at some point in the future you were to run into someone with similar troubles, she hopes the book would be of use to you.
Dankeschön.
This is her son's story, right? Is it really okay to give the book to us?
Don't worry, it's just a copy. She still has the original. It's extremely important to her.
Alright, then there's no problem. It feels good knowing we've contributed to something important. Paimon definitely didn't expect the fantasy adventure to be so useful. Paimon was a little worried about how everything would turn out. After all, fantasy is just fantasy.
Paimon, do you know what the Madame said? She said that at the moment when she placed the crown on Thelxies' head, she felt like
jetzt
she
fangen
really
die schon wieder
saw
an.
something
Ich habe mich
beautiful.
gerade beruhigt.
Her child had returned,
Wir haben es auch
and he told
gesehen.
her that he loved her. She also said that was when she was finally able to bid farewell to her son. She felt like at that moment, she was healed by some mystical power, and she was filled with courage from head to toe.
Oh, really? But could that just be another part of her fantasy?
Perhaps. But if fantasy is just fantasy, and the fantasy world is not real, then how could it still grant us these powers that we can continue to use in the real world?
Daher ist Fantasie möglicherweise nicht einfach nur Fantasie.
But what else could it be?
A descent of the fairy tale world into the real world. At that time, the wondrous fairy tale temporarily became reality and influenced real things in our world. That has to be what happened. You saw it too, didn't you?
Ja.
That can't be what happened, right? There's just no way. Wouldn't it be like a miracle if that really happened?
Yes, I suppose that would be a miracle. I hope that everyone who's found themselves in a dark place would be able to see something beautiful and experience a miracle for themselves.
Oh, Fremine, Herzchen. Die Krone der Wunder, Auftrag abgeschlossen. Es war so traurig. Ah, wie gut, dass ich das beim ersten Mal alles weggeklickt habe, nur um die Story jetzt mit euch zusammen erleben zu können. Und das war grausam. In solchen Momenten bin ich froh, keine Mutter zu sein. Ich glaube, das ist das Schlimmste, was dir passieren kann als Elternteil oder generell als Mutter oder Vater, wenn du dein Kind verlierst. Okay, das war sehr emotional. Ich danke euch fürs Zusehen. Ich hoffe, euch hat das Event gefallen. Es ist ein bisschen kurz, ne? Findet ihr nicht auch? Also so von der Storyline her. Aber es muss doch mal kurz und knackig sein. Es muss nicht immer ausgedehnt werden. Ich fand es ganz okay. Und so ein bisschen für zwischendurch, für ein Snack zwischendurch, ist das immer ganz nett. Und ja, noch einmal danke fürs Zusehen, meine Lieben. Und wir sehen uns im nächsten Part wieder bei was auch immer ich spielen werde. Und bis dahin, ihr Lieben. Bye, bye.
Is there time for a quick